Yeah, welcome to Timeless Personal Growth Development. Today I'm talking about emotions, controlling your emotions, mastering your emotions, disciplining your emotions, which people do not do enough of. We need to do more of it, a lot more of it. I'm talking to you why it's important, and this whole notion of mental health and wanting to express our emotions and wanting to tell people how we feel all the time and being an open book all the time, and explain why that's problematic. The idea is nice. The notion of it is nice. Talk about your feelings, be emotional. But as a human being and as an adult, you're not going to get where you need to go if you don't know how to control your emotions. And it starts very young. Very young. Kids now, today, at a young age, get told, express your emotions, talk about your feelings all the time. And that's great because kids have not learned the ability to be able to discipline their emotions. They can't do it yet. They have not developed that ability. But when we continuously tell them to express your emotions, talk about how you feel, that's great, that's wonderful, but you're not talking about the other side. You're not teaching young kids to discipline their emotions. So I work with kids myself, and I did an activity today with a group of kids where they were having a conflict with each other. So I told them to write things about their day that were positive. 3 things that were positive, 3 things that were negative. So these 3 kids wrote those things. Those 3 kids wrote 3 things of their own day. 3 things were positive and negative. Once they were done writing that, I took the papers from them and I gave the papers to different kids. I switched them. I didn't give the kids their own paper. I gave it to another kid. And that other kid had to read out loud that other kid's feelings toward the other kids. The things they liked about what they were doing to each other, the things they didn't like. And I told the kids, when they are reading this, when they are reading these 3 things to each other, these three things about you that could potentially upset them, do not react. Let them finish what they're reading and do not react to what they're saying. Whatever they're saying may upset you, don't react. And I did that to teach these kids to be able to learn emotional control, to discipline their emotions a little bit. And it was hard for them, but they did it. And as adults, if you don't learn that skill as a kid and you grow up to an adult and you're not able to control your emotions over little things, like it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to have relationships with people, friendships. It's going to be difficult to hold down a job, basically. And I'm not saying don't talk about your feelings. If you're going through a traumatic experience and you need to talk to someone about your troubles, that's different. If it's something super, super traumatic, that's one thing. But if you're getting upset and going to work and complaining all the time about, oh, the traffic was terrible, and going on a 2-hour-long rant of how awful the traffic was, like, nobody cares, man. Nobody cares about that. Those little, tiny, little mundane things in your life in your daily life that aren't really that important, stuff like that is not worth getting upset about. And if you have trouble controlling your emotions, that's something you need to work on. That's something you need to develop. I'm a big fan of, and this sounds strange when it comes to dealing with emotions, but I'm a big fan of taking cold showers. What does cold showers have to do with emotions? Jumping into a cold shower, freezing cold shower every morning is super uncomfortable, and it takes a lot of discipline and willpower to be able to do it. And that's what I train my mind to do every single morning. I jump into the cold shower and I force myself to stay there for 30 seconds to a minute. No matter how I feel. I don't complain. I don't tell myself, oh, I don't want to do it. I get in there, I do it for 30 seconds to a minute. It builds the mental stamina that I need for the rest of the day to be able to handle whatever I need to handle. So I know that cold shower was the hardest thing that I was going to do all day. So everything else seems super easy. So being able to control my emotions is a lot easier. And being able to control your emotions has a lot to do with your lifestyle too. Has a lot to do with your exercise, your sleep, your diet. If I don't sleep well, I have a hard time controlling my emotions. If I don't eat well, food, yes, food will change your emotions. It'll have a chemical effect on your emotions and how you feel throughout the day. Absolutely does. Engaging in activities that you like to do, engaging in your hobbies, getting a fair amount of exercise throughout your week, all that stuff's important to be able to control your emotions. All of it. Because if you never, controlling your emotions is a muscle. If you never work that muscle, then it's not going to be very strong. Oh, but well, society tells us it's okay to express your emotions. Yes, it's okay. But in the right context. People are not going to trust someone. People are not going to trust an adult, man or woman, who cannot maintain emotional self-control throughout the day. They're just lashing out at every single thing. Great, awesome. Now we know that person is not trustworthy. That person, not the person that we want in this job position. That person, great, not going to make a great relationship partner, not going to make a great friend, because you're not able to control yourself, show discipline. And being able to maintain that control and that discipline, that's where you're going to grow. I'm not saying be a robot. We're human beings. We have emotions. We melt down. We break down once in a while. I do too. Make sure you're doing it with the right people, or if you don't like showing your emotions in front of people, do it by yourself. Do it alone. But it's not worth getting upset over silly, mundane things. I will do another video on talking about emotions, because this video can go on and on for a long time. I can dig down deep into this one, but I'll do another one about this, because I think controlling your emotions is a big topic that we need to talk about, and I think a lot of people have a lot of trouble controlling their own emotions. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can subscribe, comment, like, do me a big favor, and let's get this channel up, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.